At Tire Rack, we've been testing all-terrain tires for over a decade, providing drivers with the information they need to make the right tire decision based on what, where, and how they drive. Our testing has included evaluations on the road for the daily drive, wet and dry traction for emergency situations or day-to-day motoring, even on the ice and in the snow to find out which tire is best when winter weather's at its worst. One thing we've never been able to properly evaluate, though, is these tires' off-road prowess. But that all changes now.
The thing about off-road testing is it's extremely difficult to do it properly. By the very nature of the testing, every time you drive over your test surface, you're changing it, and that introduces a variable. Of course, there's also the variable of the composition of what you're driving over. You've got rock and mud and sand and silt, and then of course differing moisture contents, and it creates a situation where it's essentially impossible to control every variable as much as we'd really like to when we're testing. Then of course there's the underlying issue that when you say off-road, it's going to mean something different to different people in different parts of the country. Some people might picture mud bogging, or desert running, or rock climbing, or just gravel roads or oil fields, or maybe even just getting from point A to point B on your property.
Being Tire Rack, where testing is what we do, we want to make sure we do it right. Now, we've been in the process with our partners down at Treadwell Research Park developing repeatable, objective off-road testing, but we're eager to get our boots dirty. We want to start experiencing these tires, even if it's just a taste of what their full capabilities are. We want to start differentiating these tires off-road for our customers. So the first step is, of course, finding the right spot to do that.
For that, we've hit the road to Badlands Off-Road Park in Attica, Indiana, a 1,400-acre off-road paradise with trails, dunes, tracks, rock gardens, mud pits, and more. We chose 3 distinct areas to evaluate our tires' off-road capabilities. Sandy dunes, complete with a hill climb and a challenging pit of river rock, a narrow, somewhat high-speed loop of mostly hard-packed dirt and sand, and a dirt drag strip to see if we could find a difference in how well these tires turn the vehicle's power into forward motion.
Since gathering objective data off-road is fraught with major pitfalls, we've chosen to perform a subjective evaluation, so our drivers' scores and impressions will tell the story. The criteria we're going to evaluate are acceleration traction, steering traction and response, and rear axle traction and stability. For our initial foray into off-road testing, we're performing a category evaluation. We'll compare a chosen representative tire from 4 different all-terrain categories: on-road all-terrain, off-road all-terrain, rugged all-terrain, and off-road max traction. Of course, we've picked the biggest names in the space to see if both the tires and the categories they represent can live up to their reputations.
The Dueler AT Ascent is Bridgestone's latest entry in the on-road all-terrain category. In our testing, we found it delivers a very balanced mix of performance on the road and in the wet and snow, and we're excited to see how this mild all-terrain tire compares to the more aggressive offerings. The BF Goodrich All-Terrain TA-KO3 is the current model from a legendary lineage. With a long history of Baja 1000 championship wins, the KO line has been proven time and again in real-world competition, so we knew it would be a strong representative for the off-road all-terrain category. The Nitto Ridge Grappler could very well be the most popular rugged all-terrain tire on the market. It's the paradigm of this relatively new category, and we're going to see if its performance fits between AT and MT, or if rugged all-terrain is more marketing hype than substance. The BF Goodrich Mud Terrain TA-KM3 represents the most aggressive, most off-road focused category in the evaluation. Off-road max traction tires are specialized performers, and we're going to see how well this mud specialist can compete with the more broadly focused all-terrain tires.
Over the years, we've tested all 4 of these tires on the road, plus wet, dry, snow, and ice. So now it's time to put them to the test in what some enthusiasts view as their natural habitats. To do that, we used a 2025 Toyota Tacoma TRD off-road with our usual 17 by 8.5 Method MR703 test wheels. All the tires in the test were LT 265/7017 Load Range E and were aired down to 20 psi before we started.
Getting ready to start the hill climb in our on-road all-terrain tire. Up we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 miles an hour. Up, 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 up. Oh, we're slowing down. We're slowing down. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. It started decently, and then once we got to serious incline and resistance, you could see the momentum was just sapped away.
Right,
from it.
and pretty quickly at that, and then it just starts to dig in, and you're toast.
Yeah, it can't make up for that loss of momentum.
Second gear.
Some heavy river rock.
Okay, there we go. Found a little grip.
Yep.
And started making some progress. Oh, then it gets deeper. We're bogging down.
Momentum, keep the momentum.
I'm trying.
Still moving.
I'm still moving. We haven't stopped yet. Now we have. Okay. All right. That's the end of it. 4-wheel drive. Save me. Ready for
Onto
the
the short track.
mini hill climb, sand dune. That's a little bit of a struggle. You give it a little input and there's some response, but then it just stops. It just washes out.
Yeah.
Kicks sideways, digs in. Oh, look at this input, and there we go. Now it
You start palming
responds,
here,
right?
If you get enough speed, it can kind of float on top of it. But if you ask for acceleration or you slow down, then it really starts to sink in.
Dirt loop
This is definitely hard pack.
with just a fine layer of.
It's very loose, dry, powdery sand with dirt. It's a little light on the front, but it's fine. It's responsive.
Very responsive, right?
Yeah, right. Not bad. I mean, it
Going to see
it
what that
handles
means.
that no problemo. Okay, off-road all-terrain. Here we go. Get to the prescribed speed.
Yeah, it's glorious. It's glorious.
That's a solid like half truck, maybe 3/4 of a truck longer.
Yep. One thing that I noticed compared to the on-road all-terrain is it feels like you can make more forward progress once it starts slipping.
Yes.
On the on-road all-terrain, it was kind of, once I
starts
get
slipping,
slip,
you're
it's
toast.
like stop, or we're going to rut it out, all we're
Right.
doing is spinning. Whereas this one, it has a bit more like clawing traction to where it makes progress.
Now, the river rock pit. Those lugs are cool, but when they start slipping, they sure do move a lot of stuff.
They do. It's like a badger claw.
Oh, we totally got it. You can tell it's got more prowess. Like it's trying harder.
There's the clawing action,
Yeah.
the momentum building. Look at us, we're picking up speed even.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, as long as you don't give up.
It keeps powering through, it keeps chugging along. It's like
Yeah.
a diesel locomotive.
Okay, no, the front end authority, absolutely, yes. There's more bite, there's faster response.
It's a different driving experience.
For sure.
More controllability. Does more of what you're asking it to, less of wow, I'm just along for the ride.
Oh yeah, the acceleration is.
It's not crabbing off to the side immediately like the last tire did.
Yep. So stronger grip, better control on all three of these tests over here on this side. Okay.
It takes more input to elicit a response. Do you see this?
Yeah.
And then it responds. The on-road all-terrain tire was much quicker. It is fine on traction, it is good on traction, but just the steering it feels duller, it feels less responsive than the on-road all-terrain, so it just takes more input and I'm thinking further ahead. Rugged all-terrain category represented by the Nitto Ridge Grappler, the big name in this space.
Yeah.
All right, let's set up for the old hill climb, and off we go. Appropriate speed. There we go. Keep on keeping on. Hop, wheel hop, axle
right.
hop. Oh my. Oh my.
Good sir.
We didn't make it very far up this. Let's
that
try that again.
Oh.
Go, 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 go.
Oh yeah, I thought I had some fight in it, but
Well, that was it.
not exactly.
Okay. It's certainly not capable,
Yeah.
but I mean, that was about as good as the on-road, maybe as good as the off-road.
Kind of in between.
Climbing power, not this tire's not necessarily this tire's forte. Let's see how we do through the river rock. Through a little bit deeper stuff, not the deepest out here,
Right.
that's for sure.
But this is test bed. So, we're doing this.
We're moving, we're chugging along.
Okay.
Chugging along, okay.
Deep
And
end.
now into the deep stuff.
Oh no.
That's it. We're just digging a hole.
Try it again.
Yep, trying again. Oh, that okay. Oh. No. It gave me hope there for a minute, but
Wow. Oh, it's like.
Real talk.
It's kind of between the on-road and the off-road, but it's closer to on-road
It was,
here on this stuff.
That's the thing with the off-road all-terrain tire is, like we said before, it wasn't moving quickly. It didn't just like waltz through it,
Right.
but it just kept chugging along. It was like a diesel locomotive. It just went.
Right.
And he never really stopped. He never really slowed down. But this one is just not doing it. All right. Crabs a little.
Yep.
Crabs a little, but does then make pretty
Yeah,
good
it
forward
does.
progress.
It does.
So I get some
There's more wheel, though.
responsiveness.
You're adding a lot of wheel.
I am adding a lot of wheel, I agree. I add my input and then half a truck length later, now it responds and does what I want it to.
Yeah, there's less steering response. The rear end is moving around a little bit more. It
Yes.
definitely doesn't have the bite of the
Oh,
off-road.
no way.
It
Not
doesn't
even
have the
close.
rear end authority of the off-road either. Any good acceleration?
Puts the power down nicely. So do you think the rear end doesn't step out like right there because it has good traction or because the front pushes?
Because it's understeer.
Okay.
I absolutely felt some understeer a couple times. And I think you're right. It doesn't feel as tail happy.
Yep.
I know we've sort of disagreed a couple times on steering, but this does feel a little slow to me.
Okay.
Off-road maximum traction.
Yes. This one is focused on mud traction. Like
The
quoted in the
more
name.
specialized you get, more
Theoretically,
specialized.
the worse you are at
Yeah,
other
right,
things,
right,
right?
right.
Like,
Outside
I'll
that
say it.
specialization, yeah.
I feel you tiptoeing
Right?
around it. Lovely amounts
Just
of
throttle control.
Okay.
So much okay. That's all you get.
That's
all.
That's
All right. I really want to say, oh yeah, the max traction tire just completed the hill climb.
Didn't complete the hill climb.
It's not going to complete, not at our speeds.
Right.
The issue I think we're encountering is if this tire starts to slip, it starts to dig so aggressively, that kind of stops everything, especially in two-wheel drive, which we're doing this in.
What's your result?
It's not significantly better than the off-road all-terrain tire. It's arguably harder to drive than the off-road all-terrain tire.
Oh, look at you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Chug-a-lugging through the river rock. Still moving.
Oh, it's so
Still moving.
It's close though. That was it.
That noise
That was it.
indicates that we're done.
Similar thought process. This is a luggy tire similar to the rugged all-terrain tire. It digs aggressively.
People have a tendency to automatically start thinking that a more aggressive tire is going to be better in every non-paved road situation. And that's just not the case. Up the hill.
A little bit of crab.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, it is.
And it grabs
Yeah,
up
if you
close.
let it dig into something hard, it's got some momentum.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Struggles a little bit in the super deep sand.
Yeah, but no, it's good here.
Right?
It's not quite off-road all-terrain good,
Correct.
which is something.
Right? There we go.
Yeah, so it's more responsive, but it's just not as tight.
Ooh, now the hard question. Off-road all-terrain or max traction on the short course?
It's not a hard question.
Oh, okay. What is it?
Off-road, the off-road all-terrain.
Me too. What happened?
It wants to drift.
Well, it does, doesn't it? It has good front-end traction, but the rear wants to move around on you. So you can use it around turns, powering out of turns, but when you want to put the power down, sometimes it just sings at you, it barks at you as it slips and moves the rear end around. I mean, this is hard pack. This is a real surface that people drive on. And the KM3 it's good. I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but it is distinct from some of the others, from all of the others, in my opinion. Not hugely, but different.
To test the raw acceleration traction of our four tires, we used the Badlands side-by-side drag strip, which is a mostly level field of hard-packed dirt. We used the manual shifting feature of the Tacoma, and with left-foot braking, we built the engine speed to 2,000 RPMs for the launch. We performed multiple 0 to 30 runs in each direction to help eliminate variables from the surface as best we could. We measured our results in feet required to accelerate to 30 instead of seconds. More tire spin meant more distance traveled before the vehicle reached the target speed.
The tightly packed dirt didn't provide much for the tires to bite into, and the on-road all-terrain and off-road all-terrain tires, with their tighter patterns, led the test. The results between the two were close enough that they should be considered a tie, but the off-road all-terrain tire edged out the objective results with a 90.3-foot average compared to 91.2 for the on-road all-terrain. From there, the rugged all-terrain tire needed 97.7 feet, and the off-road max traction tire took a foot further at 98.8 feet.
The results were very close, but the BF Goodrich All-Terrain TA-KO3 represented the off-road all-terrain category masterfully and rose to the top, leading on the dunes, in the dirt, and on the drag strip. It delivered the highest level of lateral grip at both the front and rear axles in most conditions and earned the highest subjective score in every metric but one, and even that was somewhat contested between our drivers.
Without any real mud in this comparison, the BF Goodrich Mud Terrain TA-KM3 didn't have the opportunity to show its true strengths, but nonetheless it performed very well overall, earning a runner-up position for the off-road max traction category. The contrast between its results in the loose surfaces found on the dunes and the hard pack of the dirt track and drag strip are an excellent illustration of an important point. The words off-road can mean different things, and depending on what your off-road is, simply moving to a more aggressive tire may not always provide more traction.
The rugged all-terrain category as a whole is still struggling to carve out its place in the tire world. Are rugged all-terrain tires detuned MT products? Are they more aggressive ATs? Are they intended to look the part without any real traction benefits? Our evaluation of the Ridge Grappler didn't do anything to clear those muddy waters, as it fell into a middle ground, finishing third in all three aspects of our evaluation. We liked its acceleration traction and the planted rear end in the dirt, but its modest front axle traction in the sand and the dirt made us wonder if the rear only felt stable because the front didn't have the grip to elicit any rotation.
As much as we try to avoid any preconceived notions when we're evaluating tires, the Bridgestone Dueler AT Ascent's results were in line with what one might expect from an on-road all-terrain tire in the conditions we encountered. In loose rock, dirt, or sand, the lack of void space in the pattern limited its clawing traction compared to the more aggressive categories. But on the hard pack of the dirt loop and the drag strip, more rubber in the contact patch meant more grip, which turned the tables on the competition.
We hope you found this video helpful for finding the right all-terrain tire based on what, where, and how you drive.
Later on in the year, we're going to take the 4 tires featured in this video and we're going to run them through our gravel road cut and chip durability testing, so be on the lookout for that update in early 2026. In the meantime, if you have any questions or other feedback, leave them in the comment section below. We try to read and respond to as many of those as we can. And of course, be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.